Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. This presentation focuses on diagnosing DTC P0462, which indicates a problem with the fuel level sensor circuit, specifically pointing to low voltage issues affecting the fuel gauge sending unit in the Honda Pilot from 2016 to 2022. The fuel level sensor plays a critical role in determining the fuel level in your vehicle's fuel tank and relaying that information to the gauge on the dashboard. This function is crucial for ensuring that drivers have an accurate understanding of how much fuel remains, which aids in planning refueling and can prevent running out of fuel unexpectedly. When this DTC is triggered, it signifies that the electric signal from the sensor is at an abnormally low level, leading to incorrect readings on the gauge. Understanding the implications of this error is crucial for safe vehicle operation and maintenance. By the end of this presentation, you will have a step-by-step guide to effectively troubleshoot and resolve this issue to restore accurate fuel level displays. DTC P0462 refers to a low voltage condition detected within the fuel level sensor circuit, specifically focusing on the fuel gauge sending unit. The fuel level sensor is located within the fuel tank and is essential for providing real-time information about the amount of fuel available. When this sensor operates correctly, it sends a voltage signal to the gauge control module, which in turn translates this into an appropriate gauge reading on the dashboard. If the circuit experiences low voltage, it can lead to inaccurate fuel level readings, causing potential confusion and operational issues for the driver. This DTC indicates that the vehicle's diagnostic system has identified a failure in this circuit, requiring further investigation to locate and rectify the underlying cause. Key components involved include the sensor itself, which may need to be checked for defects or interference, and the wiring that connects it to the gauge control module. Several factors can lead to the triggering of DTC P0462. The foremost cause could be a shorted wire in the fuel plus line, which disrupts the electrical signal between the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module. A short can occur due to wear and tear, exposure to moisture, or even accidental pinching from improper installation. Another possible cause is a faulty fuel gauge sending unit itself. This component can fail mechanically or electrically, leading to inaccurate readings being sent to the gauge control module. Additionally, the gauge control module could be defective. If it fails to process incoming signals correctly, it could misinterpret low voltage as a fault condition. Identifying the specific cause is essential for effective troubleshooting and repair. Each of these components requires careful inspection to ensure the accurate diagnosis and resolution of the issue. When DTC P0462 is present, several symptoms may become apparent in the operation of the vehicle. The most notable symptom is an inaccurate fuel gauge reading. Drivers may notice that the gauge displays fuel levels that do not correspond to reality, either showing more fuel than actually present or inaccurately registering an empty tank. This can pose a significant risk, leading to potential breakdowns due to running out of fuel. Additionally, a dashboard warning light may illuminate as the vehicle's check engine light or fuel system warning signal, alerting the driver to a detected fault within the fuel level monitoring system. Another common symptom is the fuel gauge being stuck on empty, regardless of the actual fuel level, signaling a failure in the communication between the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module. It is crucial for drivers to be aware of these symptoms to address potential disruptions in fuel monitoring promptly. The initial troubleshooting step for DTC P0462 begins with verifying the problem. Start by turning the vehicle's ignition to the on mode without starting the engine to power the onboard diagnostic system. Next, use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear any current trouble codes present in the system's memory. Clearing these codes is essential to reset the diagnostic monitor and allow for fresh data collection on the fuel level sensor function. After clearing the codes, wait approximately 5 seconds to give the system time to process the changes you made. Following this pause, you will need to check again for any pending or confirmed DTCs using the HDS. If DTC P0462 reappears, it indicates a confirmed failure in the fuel level sensor circuit, suggesting further investigation is warranted. If it does not reappear, it may suggest an intermittent fault that requires examining wiring connections and terminals to ensure no loose connections are affecting system performance. The second step in troubleshooting DTC P0462 involves checking for a shorted wire in the fuel plus line. Begin by turning the vehicle's ignition to the off lock position to ensure safety while working on electrical components. Next, you must remove the gauge control module, which is necessary to access and inspect the connections leading to the fuel gauge sending unit. After this, disconnect the fuel tank unit 4P connector and the gauge control module 32P connector to isolate the circuit lines. Once disassembled, you'll need to check for continuity between two test points: the number 2 terminal of the fuel tank unit 4P connector and the vehicle's body ground. Performing this test accurately will help determine whether there is a short circuit present in the fuel plus wire. If you find continuity, it indicates that there is a short in the wiring, requiring the wire to be repaired or replaced. If there's no continuity, this leads you to the next troubleshooting step, to further analyze the fuel gauge sending unit itself. The final troubleshooting step for addressing DTC P0462 involves directly testing the fuel gauge sending unit for proper functionality. At this juncture, you should verify whether the sending unit is capable of providing accurate readings. This may involve applying a direct voltage to the unit and checking if it reports the fuel level accurately. If the fuel gauge sending unit tests positively and shows proper functionality, the next step would be to replace the gauge control module, as it might be the source of the malfunction. Conversely, if the fuel gauge sending unit fails its testing, it should be replaced entirely to restore the accuracy of the fuel readings. Each of these components plays a vital role in communicating the fuel level status to the driver, and ensuring they function correctly is paramount to vehicle operations. Thus, replacing the faulty component should resolve the issues related to DTC P0462 effectively. After completing the necessary repairs associated with DTC P0462, it's crucial to perform a final verification of your work. The process begins by using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear any diagnostic trouble codes that may still be logged in the system. Clearing the DTCs prepares the onboard diagnostic system to detect any remaining issues. Following that, conduct a test drive to allow the vehicle's systems to calibrate and to check that the fuel gauge operates correctly during operation. Pay close attention to the fuel gauge during this drive. It should dynamically reflect any changes in fuel levels as the vehicle is in use. If the gauge remains stable and accurate without triggering any new fault codes, this confirms that repairs address the root problem effectively. Documenting the results of this verification process can provide you with a record of the service performed and further insight into the vehicle's diagnostic history. While repairing DTC P0462, it's also essential to consider preventive maintenance to reduce the likelihood of similar issues arising in the future. Start by introducing a regular inspection schedule for electrical connectors, including the fuel tank unit 4P and gauge control module 32P connectors, ensuring they remain free of corrosion and secure connections. Next, inspect the wiring for any signs of wear such as fraying, exposure to heat, or moisture ingress, as these can compromise signal integrity over time. Additionally, maintaining a clean fuel system is beneficial. This includes ensuring that the fuel filter is replaced at recommended intervals to prevent debris from affecting component function. Regular maintenance helps ensure all components, including sensor lines, remain in good working order, thus extending their lifespan and reducing the risk of future DTC occurrences. Taking proactive measures can save time, money, and effort in the long term, while enhancing overall vehicle reliability. In summary, understanding DTC P0462 and its implications is essential for any Honda Pilot owner or technician. A low-voltage issue in the fuel level sensor circuit can lead to inaccurate fuel readings, impacting the vehicle's operation. The structured troubleshooting steps outlined in this presentation aim to simplify the diagnostic process, guiding users toward a reliable resolution. From basic checks for connectivity to potential replacements of components, each step is designed to systematically approach the problem while considering various possible causes. Finally, preventive measures emphasize the importance of maintaining the integrity of vehicle components to prolong their life and enhance functionality. Ultimately, sound diagnostics and preventive maintenance can significantly improve vehicle performance and reliability while ensuring safety on the road. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time!